Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss a recent interview with Jamie Lee Curtis, where it appears that she may have spoiled the ending of Halloween Ends, or at the very least, how the movie ends for her character, Laurie Strode. We will examine her comments and we're going to explore all of the possible implications. Let's go! So People.com recently interviewed Jamie Lee Curtis, and when speaking about closing out her last chapter as Laurie, there was a lot she had to say. So the headline reads, Jamie Lee Curtis on final time playing Laurie Strode in Halloween Ends, quote, it felt very satisfying. Now she then discussed how it was and how it felt when filming wrapped on Halloween Ends, and Jamie Lee Curtis had the following to say. Detailing that she wrapped filming on the project while in Georgia earlier this year, the actress says, the last shot filmed was part of a night shoot and I was in a car. It was a close-up of me in the car. And when we got out of the car, it was 4:30 in the morning and there was a picture of my face on the screen. And I realized that was the last image of Laurie Strode after 44 years of portraying her. Curtis adds, isn't that amazing? And it felt very satisfying. I think people are going to lose their minds. Now, at first glance, it really does seem like perhaps she is giving away the finale of the film. Like maybe at the end of the day, she's the last one standing, and that she's there and she survives the movie and she makes it out alive, which, hey, I would be all for that. But I've been saying for a long time here on the channel, in these videos and on my live streams, how I really do think she's going to die. I have felt that coming for quite some time, but that certainly could give the impression that she could live, or that maybe she's like, the last scene of her is there, dying in her car or something like that. That's possible too. Engulfed in flames. Maybe the car is going underwater. We talked about before how, what if she just drives that car off that bridge that they're talking about is going to be a big part of the movie. All kinds of possibilities. But I want to say it like this too. Remember one thing that's important. Don't just assume that Jamie Lee Curtis has spoiled the movie, or maybe more specifically, has spoiled her character in what happens to Laurie, because one of the key things is that movies are routinely, if not always, shot out of sequence. Almost all of the time, movies are filmed, and you could start off filming the finale and end with the opening. I mean, it could be any numerous ways of filming a movie. And we already know they've done reshoots as well. So I don't think that she's necessarily spoiling anything. I know a lot of people out there, rumors are floating around that think that this is what's happened. And I just want to say, well, hold on a minute. Let's take a step back. Jamie Lee Curtis, while maybe she does say more than she should occasionally in interviews, at the end of the day, she's a pro. All right, she has been doing this. Well, as she said here, she's been playing this character for 44 years. She knows what she can and cannot say in interviews, and she's not going to spoil this movie, intentionally at least. And in this case, I believe what we're seeing is a sequence with a JLC, Laurie Strode, that's filmed out of sequence. It just so happened that they decided to film this scene as her last scene filmed. Does not mean it's her last scene in the movie. So it's a very clear distinction that we need to make there. Now, could that mean when we get to the end of this movie, we find out that Laurie defeats Michael and that, maybe she's driving out of Haddonfield and that's the final shot. That's her getting in the car. Sure, it could happen, of course. But I just don't think that's likely. I really don't. I think that she's just merely recapping what was a very moving moment for her when she sees her face on that screen, knowing that that's the very final shot that she's going to see Laurie Strode on the camera in filming a movie. That's the last time. That's all I think she really means. And of course, she does then go on to say how it felt very satisfying. And then she ends up by saying, I think people are going to lose their minds. Now, we know that, JLC does routinely have a very enthusiastic things to say about these films, rightfully so. And I don't blame her and fault her for that. But, some varying degrees of whether or not we think that maybe it lands all the time, but it's so subjective, right? Of course. So it's going to land for some, it's not going to land for others. But I love the idea that she feels this way and she's so passionate about her character. She's not airmailing it in like some people could do, where you're just showing up and clocking in, going through the motions. No. She's passionate. She cares about Laurie Strode. She cares about this franchise and really what it's brought to her. And she said that many times. Like it's a real honor to be this person and to play this character. So that I love that when you see a performer who cares that much about their role. I think that does come off on the screen. We'll see that. We'll feel that in their scenes. And I think that that's what's really important. And at the end of the day, I think that's what we're going to see again from Laurie Strode. And I want to say one final thing about this. When I interviewed Ashley Trisler last week, if you have not seen it, she is Jamie Lee Curtis's stunt double on the Halloween trilogy, 18 Kills and Ends. And the interview is on my channel right now on the front page. You need to go check it out. If you're a Halloween fan, she gave some great insight into filming these movies and being a stunt performer. But as being Jamie Lee's body double, she was so excited to talk about Ends, and you just see her light up, like she's so excited. And she repeatedly talked about how there's so many things she wants to say about this final film, but she just can't do it yet because it's obviously not out. But she's going to come back to the channel in October. We're going to give the movie a couple of weeks to get out and be out for people to see it. And she's going to come back and just spill the beans on Halloween Ends. But the reason I bring it up is because that same passion that I'm seeing and hearing from Jamie Lee Curtis, I also felt and saw from Ashley in this interview. And you can see it in her body language and how she talks about this franchise and especially Ends. She's very excited about it. I felt her passion playing Laurie's stunt double. So I just want to leave it there and say, guys, I am hopeful that this is going to be a great finale to this trilogy. I enjoyed the first two films, and having met her and talked with her, and it just really confirmed for me the reason to stay optimistic that this is going to be a solid ending. And I think that's what we're going to get. Fingers crossed, guys. We're only 3 months away. It is right around the corner. So stay tuned. All right, guys, I want to know what you think about JLC's comments regarding her final scene that was filmed in Ends. I want to hear your opinions, thoughts, ideas, and theories about what you expect to see in Halloween Ends, and has this changed or perhaps enhanced any of your ideas or theories. So start leaving your comments below right now in the comments section so we can discuss it together now. Well, that's going to be it for this update, but I'll be back soon with more Halloween Ends and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thanks for watching.